Hello everyone, welcome to Lesson 8 of C Programming on the Mac. In this tutorial, I'm going to be covering Boolean expressions as well as logical operators. So two things in this tutorial, hopefully I can keep it short enough. And I just wanted to talk about something from Lesson 7. In the Lesson 7 video, I gave a link to a PDF that I made, which was kind of like a written test or just a recap of what I've taught already, or hopefully what you've learned from Lesson 1 through 7. So if you haven't checked that already, I'll put a link in the sidebar for this video. And I highly suggest that you check it out before moving on. It's just a good recap of all the stuff that you've learned, and it'll just help you out. Yeah. So anyway, moving on with this tutorial. So to start out, I'm going to start out with my two ideas here. So Boolean, which is just it stores kind of like an integer stores numbers. Boolean just stores true or false values. So it's either true or it's false, one or the other. And also for my second thing, which is logical operators, in if statements, if you want to say something like if, like for our last example, we say if num1 is greater than 7, then we do this. But if what if we wanted to have two conditions? So like num1 is greater than 1 and num2 is less than this. So if we wanted to have two different things, or we have multiple things in one if condition, then I'm going to show you how to do that in this tutorial. So let's start out to allow booleans into your program. You have to do #include and then standard, and then it's just bool.h, which is short for boolean, if you can figure that out. So booleans work like every other variable that I've discussed so far. It's just you type bool instead of int and double, or int or double, and you name it like everything else. So for my example, I'm going to say buy a coffee, or sorry, want a coffee, and have the money to buy a coffee. So we're going to say have money, and I'll make another one that says want coffee. Okay, and now I'm going to initialize these variables. Why do I always do that? I'm going to initialize the variables. Have money is going to get a value of true, and want coffee is going to get the value of true as well. So basically, we can only store two different values in these variables, either true or it's false, nothing else. Okay, so that's the purpose of Boolean expression, it's just to store a true or false value. So now that we've done that, I'm going to make an if statement to make you better understand what we're doing here. So let's say if I have enough money and I want a coffee, if both those are true, then I will buy the coffee. So if have money, and this is going to be another point in my video here, if I just make this in my condition, I don't have to say like is equal to true, since basically if have money is true, then the statement is true. So I don't have to compare it to true anymore. I can just leave it like that, and if it is true, then it's true. And that's kind of the nice thing about Booleans, is that you don't have to compare it. You can just leave it like that, since it already has a true value. If have money is true, then it prints it. And so that's kind of the easy thing with Booleans. So now getting onto my logical operators here, if we want to have both of these be true, so we have enough money and we want a coffee, so if both these should be true, we can do a double ampersand, which is just above the 7 key on your keyboard. So 2 ampersands, and then we just put want coffee in there. So if both of these has to be true for this, so both of these things have to be true for this to print. So we're going to print message, and we will buy a coffee. Coffee. Okay, so that's going to be that, and I'll throw a \n for style purposes. So if both of these are true, then this will print out. Okay, and I'll demonstrate that in just a second. But first of all, I'm going to continue on with my program here. So now we're going to make an else if, and our condition is going to be have enough money, or, now how to do an or with a logical operator is it's just above the return key, or it's the backslash key. If you do shift backslash key, you get these two bars, and the two bars equal basically an or. So if have money is true or want coffee is true, if one of those is true. So if we do want coffee, so now if one of them is true, we will say printf and maybe get a coffee. Okay, so basically this is your or and this is your and. For this to print, both of these values has to be true, and for this to print, either one of these values has to be true. So I'm going to demonstrate these two things right now. So if I go to my console and I run this, both my values are true right now. So we will buy a coffee. Since have money is true, want coffee is true, both of them are true, it's going to print this, and then I'll just skip this since it's an else if. Okay, so now if I change one of these values, and let's say I have enough money, but I don't really need it and I don't really want it. So we'll save that and run it. And as you can see, we will maybe get a coffee. So that's the reason why this doesn't work, is because have money and want coffee are not both true, since want coffee is false. So it moves on to its else if. And since have money is true, it doesn't actually read the next one, but if have money was false and basically since have money is true and want coffee is false, since one of them is true, then it can print it anyway. If both of these variables were false, then it would not print it. And so for my last example, I'll make an else. I shall make an else if to demonstrate another example here. So we have one last operator, which is the not operator. So this is just done by an exclamation mark. If I do have money, that's not, or it's the opposite of what it is. So basically this means when have money is false, in this statement, have money is now true. Basically it inverts whatever the value is. Okay, so basically if have money is false, then it becomes true. And we'll make if both these things are true, or both of them are false technically, so not want coffee. So now this is basically saying, since both these values are false, this is saying, okay, now it's not false, and now this is not false. So now they're both true values, so this will technically print now. Okay, so we'll make a printf, and we say, we will not buy a coffee. Okay, so running through this program one last time, have money and want coffee, they're both false, so this is not going to print. Else if one of these is true, then it will print, but they're both false, so that's not going to happen either. So now we go to our last statement, have money is false, let's flip that, make it true. Okay, so far so good. And now want coffee is false, we'll flip that because of the not sign, and now it's true, both values are true, and now we'll print this. And to demonstrate, I'll run it, and as you can see, we will not buy a coffee. So that's my tutorial on Boolean expressions. Not too hard, just remember that Boolean just stores true or false, and that's all it's there for. And if you do like these tutorials, comment and rate the videos, and if you really like them, then you can subscribe to the channel. And I'm trying to make a new video every week, so stick around and you'll get some new lessons hopefully very often. Alright, thanks, see ya.